didn't see it. And welcome back to another edition of Midweek Moment with the Crenshaws. As always, I am Sanchez Crenshaw, and I am joined by the woman I call my wife.
Come on now.
My BFF.
Come on.
Which is my best friend forever.
Hello.
My down like four flats.
Come on now.
The Wheezy to my George.
Come on with the Jeffersons. I did it again. That's good. I'm doing it.
Yeah, you've been doing better.
What is going on, family? What is going on?
That's my wife, family.
Let me switch up to y'all. That pause, I was trying to figure out why he had such a long pause before he said what he said. Because he was jealous of my dancing skills over here in this chair. I just wanted y'all to know.
How about you get somebody your name?
I did say Angela Crenshaw.
No, you really didn't.
Oh, sorry.
You never did.
What's going on, family? What is going on? I am Angela Crenshaw. Guys, what is going on?
That's my wife.
Walk down memory lane.
What has gotten into you?
We walking down memory lane today.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Midweek.
Wow.
I was going to say midweek Wednesday.
Midweek Wednesday. Alrighty then.
We walking down memory lane. Okay, do your housekeeping.
Can I?
Get it done.
You sure?
Get her done. Get her done.
You sure?
Get her done.
So family, as always, we thank you guys for being a part of what we're doing. We thank you for taking the time to listen. We thank you for allowing us into your home, allowing us into your ears. We thank you for making us part of your day. For our new family members, welcome.
What's up?
We are so happy you're here.
Thank
However
you
found us, whether it's on iTunes,
yes.
whether it's on Podbean, whether it's Spotify,
come on,
whether it's Google Play, whether
yes.
it's iHeartRadio, or whether it's on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. You are welcome.
Yes. For what?
Are you done?
What? Okay, you didn't finish housekeeping.
Because you keep.
Are you closing your eyes so you don't have to look at me over here dancing?
What? First of all, why is you always putting behind the scenes in front of the scenes?
I'm just asking you. Is that why your eyes is closed?
Is crazy.
Okay, go ahead.
This is crazy.
And for our returning family members,
so you want to do my job?
Nah, go ahead, player.
So for our returning family members, as always,
I did good.
As always, family, we're just so happy you're here.
Yes, we are.
We're happy that you're making us a part.
Welcome.
We are so grateful for
podcast.
you. We truly do appreciate you, and we thank you, Josh, for sticking with us, for going along this journey with us. I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't even know what word did you make up a word just now?
I am so confused about where we're going already. I just have no idea.
Just go ahead, carry on. Okay, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to say nothing. Go ahead.
So, family, just welcome to the cookout. Hopefully, you brought your aluminum foil. And, babe, tell them why they need to bring their aluminum foil.
So you could take something with you. Yes, yes, yes.
Right now, family, I want you to take my co-host with you.
Babe,
and send me a resume. Once again. Oh, Lord.
Wait, let me ask you a question. So it's becoming fall.
It is. May I finish?
Okay, I got to ask you a question.
I'm not even finished.
Go ahead. Just go
housekeeping.
Ahead. Housekeeping, baby. Housekeeping.
Family, we're on the socials.
Yes.
We're an interactive podcast, and what that means is that we're on the socials.
Yes.
And what that means is that you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter.
Yes.
You can find us on Facebook, all under Crenshaw Corner.
All under Crenshaw Corner.
All under Crenshaw Corner, or you can email us at our email address, which is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, our email address. Words are hard.
Mm-hmm.
Our email address is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Now, babe, apparently you've been so anxious because you've had a question. You've been bouncing. You've been interrupting.
Is that why you keep messing up? Because I'm trying to figure out what's happening over there on your side of town.
First of all, I never mess up.
Oh.
And if I do, it's because of you. It's because you have done something to throw me off my game.
That's why you keep your eyes closed.
Now, woman, what do you want?
No, I was thinking to myself, but I answered my own question. Because I was like, you know what?
You can't think to anybody else.
I was like, you know what?
All you can do is think to yourself.
I think to myself. I think to myself.
That is one of those phrases that irks me. Because people say that foolishness
Can
all the
I
time.
ask my question?
Well, I was thinking to myself, you can't think to anybody else.
Can I ask you my question?
Please, present your question to the family.
Babe, no, it's not to the family, to you.
What's up?
So I was thinking because it's about to be fall, right?
It is about to be fall.
Can we still say aluminum foil for fall? People still bring aluminum foil to fall get-togethers.
Why wouldn't they?
I was just, because you know,
Aluminum foil is not a. It's not a seasonal. It's not a seasonal accessory.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not like white after Labor Day.
Come after Labor Day, guys. Bring your own Tupperware. I felt like.
Nah, I'm not sponsoring nobody's Tupperware now. Tupperware expensive. You start saying bring your Tupperware to me like, well, then give me some Tupperware. Nah, I'm not sponsoring nobody.
Bring your Lumas foil, sisters. But that's what I want to ask you.
Seriously, you
Hi.
kept interrupting the entire introduction, so you can ask me about that.
No. When you got to that part when I said bring your aluminum foil part, and then I was thinking to myself again, you hate it, but I like it. I was thinking to myself, and I was like, with fall coming, can we still say aluminum foil?
Here's the thing. I'm
Yes.
gonna hang up on you if you don't bring something to this conversation. I'm gonna just hang up. I'm gonna disconnect the call.
I
because
am bringing
right
something
now-
to the table.
Well, bring something.
So back down memory lane. So, right, I was watching a show called Black Love.
Okay.
And so phenomenal. If you guys have not watched this, it's on OWN. It is so good. We're not sponsored by them, but it is so good.
What is Black Love?
But it's Black Love. It's a show where couples get together. Basically, this one couple, Cody and Tommy, please don't kill me, I think that's their right name, got together when they were engaged because they didn't have anyone to look at, and they went and sort of interviewing different couples,
Right.
different married couples, different age, just every group, and they just wanted to know, like the ones that were married like a year and so forth and so on, what could they give them some information about how to be better,
Okay.
and different questions. And so it went from being season 1 to 2 to 3, and I think now they're at season 4. So it's really good. And so one of the questions that, and I know we kind of touched on it before because people always ask us this question off air,
Right.
But again, sometimes they always ask us like, hey, how did you guys meet? But this one question, I don't think we ever answered. We always talk about how we met, but I don't think we ever talked about this question. I said, I want to ask Sanchez this question for each other. And the question was to the couples were, how did you know that your spouse was the one?
So the question you're posing to me is, how did I know that you were the one?
Yeah, and even to myself, because I really thought about it. So I wanted to give you my response as well. But I did want you to go first and tell me, how did you know that I was the one? Or did you even know?
Oh, that's a simple answer. I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't know you were the one. You were not in my plans.
What were your plans?
Not you. You weren't in my plans.
Why?
Because at that time, I had no plans when it came to relationships or being with someone. I think we've told the story before, but when you and I first met, I was, I think, less than a year out of a divorce from my initial wife, from my trial wife. The trial didn't go well, so I returned. I canceled that trial.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't go well at all.
I can't stand you.
So from my trial wife, and then I had experienced, for lack of a better term, a tumultuous relationship with a young lady I was interacting with at that time. And that didn't go well at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we just gonna leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
And so when our paths crossed, I was not looking. I was at that time in my life. I was okay with being a hoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was young and dangerous at that time.
What were you?
Yeah, I was young and dangerous.
Young and dangerous?
Yeah, the Lord knew me, but I didn't really know the Lord like He wanted me to at that
Better
time
speak,
in my life.
preach it, tell the truth.
So I was content with just just populating the world
The world. Okay.
with my love.
Yeah,
I was content with that.
You knew the Lord, you just was misbehaving.
Once again, I just said the Lord knew me. I just didn't know the Lord the way He wanted me to at that time.
Okay, I need you to
in
come
my
on,
life.
get that right.
That's what I said. That's what I said the first time. So I was content with meeting nice people, getting to know nice people,
Get to know him, yeah.
exchanging niceties.
Niceties. Is that just numbers or
Huh?
exchanging numbers?
It started with numbers. Just exchanging niceties with the life.
Right.
And then And then there you go.
There I go.
And there you is.
And there I is.
And yeah, and you was not on the program.
I didn't. You didn't.
Yeah. You was at that time. You was not on the ballot.
You wasn't even on the ballot.
You wasn't on
My
the
ticket
ballot.
wasn't in.
Your ticket wasn't in. You didn't register in time.
I didn't register in time. Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
Preach
but
that
then
if you could.
Next thing I know, you was a write-in vote. And there you is.
And there I is.
Yeah.
So when did you know that I was the one? Did you
okay.
how long did it take you to realize that I was the one?
So you and I got married in February of 2000.
We did.
Correct?
Yeah, we met in 1999.
So we met in August of 99.
99, yes.
We were married in February of
August
2000.
10th of
correct?
1999, actually.
Yeah, August 10th.
August 10th of 1999. Mm-hmm.
And then we got married February 7th of 2000.
2000.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
So I officially knew that you were the one around February 7th of 2011.
God is faithful.
Yeah.
He's a faithful God.
You know, if you're faithful to him,
you faithful to him, he'll be faithful to you.
You know, he will be.
He'll be faithful.
Yeah, he'll be faithful.
Yes.
You know, so, yeah, I'll say about 11 years
About
in.
11 years, he was like, okay.
I realized,
Yeah,
okay,
I could do it. I could
she
do
the
it.
one.
She the one. She cool. She cool.
Yeah, it didn't start out like that.
No, I don't think it started out that way for me either. I don't think that I knew. I think that I knew that you were my best friend.
Yeah, I knew that.
I knew that I cared for you. I knew that I loved you. I knew that there was a space for you in my life, and I didn't want to lose the space. I didn't want to put anybody else in that space. But I don't know if I knew. And the crazy part about it, you can judge us if you want. I don't even think I knew, like you said, when we were married. We were basically what you call
On the job training?
We did marriage on the job training.
Yeah.
On the job training,
Yeah,
marriage.
That first few years of our marriage.
It was on the job training.
Actually, that first decade of our marriage.
Was
strictly on the job
on the job training. And I think I don't know if you really know. I mean, I knew that you were a good man. I knew that you were a good father. I knew that you were a phenomenal friend. I knew that you were a great lover, but I don't know if I knew if that, you know what I'm saying? And I think like you, it took years, because so many times I tried to like push you and say, boy, go.
Well,
you don't even know what you get in yourself because if people don't know we're a blended family.
The first 6 or 7 years, you tried your hardest.
Yeah, and I said, go because we always said the divorce wasn't an option, but I was giving him free reign to roll up out the door if he wanted to. He just couldn't divorce me. But anyway, all jokes aside, but I just thought that you were younger. You were younger, and that I didn't know if we both thought what we were getting into, because I came with 3 boys, you came with a daughter,
right.
You came with your whatever relationship that you said you came out of,
tumultuous
relationship,
right there,
tumultuous relationship, and so I think we grew into knowing, and of course people might judge that, but we grew into we don't care, but we just being very honest. I think we grew into knowing as each year went on, and I knew that there was nobody else I wanted to be with besides you.
I think the only thing at that point in time that we were completely certain of is that we loved each other.
We loved each other, absolutely.
I don't even think we knew we were in love with each other.
Yeah, but I knew we loved each other. Absolutely.
And we knew that from that starting point, we would figure it out from there.
We would go from there.
Yeah, and it's like I said, because in the beginning, when because I think we made the statement before, you and I never dated.
No, never
dated. It was not
dated.
a dating period for us.
No, we were strictly friends.
We went straight from meeting each other to becoming friends, to becoming best friends, to becoming husband and wife.
Yeah. You forgot, there's a section that you missed.
What section did I miss?
I was a matchmaker.
Oh, yeah, you out here trying to...
Give me my matchmaker respect.
Yeah, but you were bad at it, though.
I was not a bad
I was not going to bring that up because you were bad at it.
I wasn't a bad... I think I was really matching you up with some really nice girls.
The one you tried to hook me up with.
Listen.
That's...
I'm just saying
that situation didn't go well.
Let me tell you,
I left my house running.
Girls, I had one girl who was so in love with Sanchez that she would buy me lunch just so she could buy him lunch, because she knew that we were really, really close like that, and so she would buy me lunch. Because what is he eating? Okay, I'll buy his and yours. Okay, so I got free food. Amen. Praise him. I'm
just saying.
So I think that we knew, like you said, that we loved each other, and we thought that everything else would just fall into place.
And which was so dumb of us thinking that. That was.
Because it was WORK.
That was such naivete
Naivete.
way of thinking. Because,
yes, it was.
Yeah, the old saying, love lifts us up where we belong. Love conquers all. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough.
To keep me from you.
All that's cute.
Right.
Until like that first bill come in that you can't pay.
Uh-huh.
Or you get that first phone call from a school.
About your kids.
Or you say something that you normally say, but now the person that took offense to it.
Yes.
And you trying to figure out why they didn't take an offense to it.
We've been talking like
I've
this.
been talking
to you like this.
I've been saying stuff
right.
like this. All of a sudden now it's a problem.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if we would have known any better.
Yeah.
And we said this before. It was a lot of conversations
that we did not have,
that we would have had,
but that we didn't
even think about.
I don't even think we consider conversations. We didn't even consider the conversations that we have now so in depth because we have in depth conversations now. But in the beginning of our marriage, we didn't even have those conversations.
Nah, it was was
like love.
Yeah, it was
love.
It. I didn't know where you stood financially. You didn't know where I stood financially.
Nope.
I didn't know what your outlook on life was. I mean, it was crazy. We just knew. And because also the conversations you have as best friend is not going to be the same conversations you have as husband and wife. Different factors play into it that we didn't even think about it.
No, because we talk to each other as best friends about everything, especially things that had to do with us, our children, relationships, and everything else. But then when we got married and we got ready to speak at that time, was like, oh wait, the person that I normally tell everything to and vent and complain to is you. So how do I complain to you about you?
Yeah.
See, I didn't think that through. It was almost as if not for a long period of time, but I think for the first 2 years, I felt like I had to mourn my best friend. Like I felt like I was in mourning because it seemed like when we got married that there was a line, because again this wasn't a conversation that we had.
Right, we never had
it was a
conversation.
line that I couldn't grow past anymore, like I could when we were best friends. And that doesn't mean we weren't like when we were like those type of best friends where I could kick it with you about anything, And so it was kind of like almost mourning, and then we had to realize that it wasn't that it was even better than I could even imagine as the years went on.
Yeah, because
as far as being best friends.
Yeah, as my best friend and strictly just my best friend. If I was messing with a young lady or if a young lady was getting on my nerves or if a crazy chick was calling my phone and I was having you screen my calls.
Remember I was your secretary that answered your phone one time. I was like, hello? No, he's not available. Can I take a... You know what? We were some crazy people. But anyway.
She got heated behind that too.
She was. But
I
answered it. I was his secretary, honey.
She called me and left me a
real nasty message.
She really did. But
he's like, answer my phone. I want to talk to her.
See, that was my fault though, because that was my fault. Because throughout my career, I never messed with anybody that was younger than me. Throughout my entire career, I would always date or interact with ladies older than me.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I've never really. Like, once again, see
that? It's coming back to you now.
Because my trial wife was my age. Didn't work. The young lady we're referring to now, she was actually, I think, maybe a year or two younger than me. Because during that time, she was actually a college student.
Right.
During that time, and understand, people, I'm not. At that time, I was like 20. Well, when we met, I was 21. 21 going on 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was like 19. I think she was like 19. So
that was young for you when you were 20.
Actually, it was. It actually really was because, like I said, throughout my entire career, I did not because I didn't relate.
Why you treat your dating life like it's a football game? You know, my entire career before I got my ring.
Yeah,
what in the world?
I mean,
you put your jersey up, baby.
I had to. I retired my jersey. I got my ring. I got my ring.
You got your ring. Show me. You better show the world your ring, player.
Yeah, I got my ring.
Let them know you got your ring, boy.
And then so I had to
put that jersey up. Put that. That is a good analogy.
Yeah.
But come on, somebody. But go ahead.
But I'm just saying. So throughout my career, I never really clicked with young ladies my age. It was always older.
Okay.
So, and I should have known is you were screening my calls or whatever. So it went from being able to talk to you about, this crazy, I'm dealing with this crazy young lady who's getting on my nerves to now you're that crazy young lady getting on my nerves.
Yes.
And how do I tell you
That you the crazy lady.
That you the crazy lady.
Can you
screen
your
nerves.
calls for you?
Like right now, I need you to screen this call,
which is you.
Which is you.
But let me ask you a question. I just thought about that when you said that.
What's up?
How? Because we got married within 6 months of knowing each other.
Right.
You strictly went cold turkey. Like when it came to dating, you strictly, it was like, we're married. And when you were kind of like waving off before we got married, but it was almost like you went cold turkey from your career, as you said, from your, huge, dating career.
Where was this? First of all, I had whole tendencies, but I wasn't a hoe. So don't be talking about huge dating career.
Hello, bro.
I mean,
you want me to. Boy, I'm on this
I'm just
microphone.
saying.
Boy, Sanchez.
I'm just saying.
Sanchez.
I'm saying I had the tendencies.
No, bro, you was a hoe.
I had.
You was a hoe.
I had whole tendencies.
No, you was a hoe. There was no tendency in that.
Okay,
baby.
but in my defense, I had a real good coach.
Okay, who was your coach?
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Who was your coach?
The man I look like.
You trying to say your daddy was a hoe?
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Okay.
So
you thought that was the way to go.
Okay, so
that kept your speed. Okay,
all right, so we're having this conversation. Okay, so,
we're having it.
So understand, I had two totally different dynamics, two total different dichotomies when it came to what that looked like.
Right.
So on my maternal side, I had the 50 plus year since teenager, marriage. I had that standpoint.
Right.
But then on my paternal side, I got
Papa was Rolling Stone.
So let's just be honest. Let's be honest. So
I thought that's what we do.
We're gonna go all out.
That's what we do.
We're gonna go all out here.
Just going out there.
So
roll out.
On the paternal side, I had a grandfather that fathered children by his wife's sister.
Okay.
I had a father who just in all times forgot he was married. he just always forgot he said I do.
Okay.
So there was always somebody different here and there.
Okay, but wait, I'm sorry to cut you off.
What's up?
But here's the question. So because you had two different sides, right? But you chose the other side that you didn't even, because you didn't chose your grandparents and the 50 years and the longevity and all the marriages on that side. You chose the other side.
Because you have to be careful what you do, because you never know who's looking up to you. He was my idol.
Okay.
So growing up, he was
whether he was there or not.
There or not.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
Growing up, he was my everything.
Okay.
So because growing up, he was my everything, even though he was a ghost to me.
Right.
So I made up these own stories in my head of what he was and who he was.
Okay.
And so I took a lot of his traits because he was my everything.
He's your everything. Okay.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Got you.
It seemed like the right thing to do.
Okay.
And then also you got to understand, during that point in time, I was self-destructive myself at that point in time.
This is true. Okay.
So I didn't really care at that point in time. I didn't really care who I hurt or what was going on.
Right.
I was looking to fill a gap and looking to fill it the wrong way.
Right. So again goes back to, how did you go? Because basically, I never thought of it. Like, as we're having this conversation, I was like, hold it. Because we was 6 months in and we got married, and you still had a flirtatious spirit. So because we've talked about that before.
I had a flirtatious spirit about 4 or 5 years into our marriage.
It was very, like, he acted like he didn't know he was a flirt. But anyway,
I never
knew. And the crazy part about it was the very thing that was very interesting, and I think people need to understand this about marriage, because we talk about this all the time. The very thing that I thought was very interesting about you as your flirt was annoying as my husband.
Right.
It was cute.
It was cute as your best friend.
Because I was hooking you up. I was hooking you up.
But as your husband.
It was like, okay, this ain't cute. Bat one more eyelash, just one eyelash, and you're gonna be blind. But but I just thought about that. So how did you go cold turkey though? How did you be like, okay, this is it? Like this, I'm done with this. This is not what I want to have for my marriage. This is not what I want to do. Like, how did you do that?
It was a 2-step process.
Okay.
Actually.
So kick it.
It was a couple of things. It was by that time, my daughter was 2. So by the time you came into my life, by the time you came into our lives, she was 2.
Right.
And she was getting older. And I was accepting more of the responsibility of being a father.
Right.
Because if truth be told, in her first 3 months, I wasn't around. You know, I wasn't in the state when
in
she
the
was
same
born.
state when she was born, right?
Yeah, I had bounced and I had went a couple of states away.
Right.
I was gonna start this whole thing over. You know, by that time,
And you got a phone call.
yeah, you know, by that time I didn't want to. By that time, everything around me was crumbling.
Right.
Everything was going wrong. I couldn't really see a way out. So I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm gonna just go start over.
Right.
At that time, it didn't include her.
Right.
So I bounced.
Right.
So I was in. So when she was actually born,
Now backtrack. When he say her, he's not talking about the baby. He's talking about the child's mother.
I'm talking about both.
Oh, did you know about her when you left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
No, I left when the mother was like 6 months.
Okay, got you. Okay.
7 months.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. No,
I'm just trying to make sure we clip everything.
No, I knew.
It's questions.
No,
Okay.
I knew. No,
Go ahead.
it wasn't.
I'm asking the questions.
Yeah, it wasn't a. Oh my God, you're about to have a baby. No, it wasn't that. It was like
Right.
I knew because I was there from the beginning. I
Right.
was there for like the first, like I said, 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
But it just got to the point where it was too much within that particular situation. It became too much.
Okay.
And so at that point in time, I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Right.
So I bounced.
You left.
So I went to Florida. I was there for a while, and then so I got the phone call. You know, your child is born.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, cool. All right, that's fine. What you gonna do about it? Okay, have a good life. And then I was like, okay, so about 3 months. So it's about 3 months after she was born. I was like, you know what? I need to go home. I need to see my kid.
Right.
So I came back and I saw her for the first time and absolutely fell in love.
Yeah.
Because it was me looking back at me, which
Yeah.
is the craziest thing. It's like,
She looked just like you.
yeah,
That was crazy.
And when she first saw me, even like at 2 or 3 months old, when she first saw me, it's like she automatically knew who I was.
Wow.
And she had this big Kool-Aid grin on her face, and her little face lit up, and it melted my heart. And I was like, okay, so now I have to do this.
Right.
But like in the first, like I said, in that first, so she was like 3 months when I came back. So then up into 2, so that year and a half, year and 9 months, whatever.
Were you growing?
I was growing, but there was still a lot of back and forth in between that particular interaction, that particular relationship.
Right.
Where it was still a lot. It was still a lot going on. We'd be okay for a minute, and then we'd not be okay for a minute. It was just a lot going on.
Right.
And then in that time is where my trial wife came in as well.
Right.
So, and it's because, like, the reason I'm having this conversation because once again I go back to because I was broken.
Right.
And I was looking for something to fill gaps.
Right. Absolutely.
And so that's where the flirting came in. That's where the trial marriage came in. That's where the different women came in because I was broken and I was hurting.
Trying to fill that void.
And I was trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to 99 when she's 2 and when you come into our lives, when I meet you and you're my friend, and I'm like, okay. And like I said, you said I quit to cold turkey is because what kept ringing in my head was is that you do know all the things you did that was somebody's daughter.
Come on.
All the self-fulfilling prophecies you did with somebody's, you
Right.
know, all the selfish things you did,
Right.
all the self-gratification you did, all the hearts you broke, all the people's feelings you didn't care about.
Right.
That's somebody's daughter.
And now you got one.
And now I have one.
Oof.
And what happens with life is that
Come on now.
karma's a bee. And it's true what they say. Sins of the father. You know?
Yes, sir.
So what happened is that I was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I
Right,
can't be
right.
that dude anymore. My baby can't pay for my sins.
Right.
Her heart can't get broken or somebody can't mistreat her or some dude can't get what they want from her and then, you know, it's all about her up until that point, and then once he gets what he wants, you don't hear from him no more.
Right.
My baby can't do that, can't live that life because of me and because of what I've done.
And now you got to put something else in her.
And now I got to put something else in her. I got to sow a different seed at this point.
Right, exactly.
So that happened, and then you came along, and you did something that no other woman in my life has ever done.
Okay.
You challenged me.
Oh.
No other woman in my life has ever did that.
Right.
Every other woman in my life was fascinated by me.
You just cute.
And I'm not saying this to be narcissistic. I'm not saying this to be. I'm just being honest.
No, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to tell it to me.
And
I
a
know
lot
it
of
firsthand.
and a lot of it had nothing to do with my looks or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was I learned from the best.
Yeah, you were very charismatic.
Very charismatic.
Know what to say.
Con man.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from the best how to be a con man.
Yeah.
I learned, and that's why I pay attention a lot to people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always wonder, well, why you so quiet or why you don't talk? Because I'm a people watcher. I'm an observer.
Yeah.
I listen. And it's good, bad, or indifferent. I can either use that talent for good or I can use that talent for evil.
Right.
At that point in time, I was using that talent for evil because
Right.
I was listening. Okay.
Right.
So where are you hurting? What are you missing? What are you saying?
Now I can feel that.
Now let me feel that.
Yeah. Make
so,
myself needed.
So so you're insecure about your weight. So let me tell you how at your weight you're so beautiful. Let me tell you how, so you're insecure about this. Okay, so let me tell you. So, and that's what I did.
Right.
And like I said, I knew what to say and how to say it.
Right.
That didn't work on you. I think I might have said this on the podcast before. Maybe I didn't. But one of the first things you ever said to me was that I'm looking for a man to F my mind,
Yeah.
not my body.
And if you can't, we don't have the time.
And that was so profound for me.
I was like, I want a mind orgasm.
Yeah, that was profound for me because everybody else in my life was looking for the opposite.
Right.
They were inverse in that.
Yeah, right.
And so, like I said, so when you came along and you challenged everything, you challenged my entire foundation.
Right.
Because everything that worked on everybody else didn't work on you.
Right.
All the lines I used, the smile I used, and being mysterious. And none of that worked.
I was like, he's going to be a good friend. It's going to be a great friend. It's going to be a great friend.
And so, with my daughter, with her getting older and me truly accepting the responsibility of being a father of a girl.
Right.
Because it's different.
It's so
I
different.
don't care what people say, and I understand, equal, all this and all this. But you raise a boy different than you raise a girl.
Absolutely.
You do. You have to teach them differently.
Differently.
The foundation of who they are, the foundation of what you're teaching, their beliefs, their morals. Yes, that's the same across the
same.
board. But there's things that my daughter will go through that my son will never go through.
Exactly.
There are feelings and emotions that my daughter will have that my sons will never have.
Yeah.
And so there's situations that she will be in that my sons will never be in.
Yeah.
So I have to teach them differently. There's survival techniques I have to teach each one differently.
Yeah.
Because there's different situations and circumstances each one's going to be in.
Right.
So when I accepted the fact, yo, dude, you're the father of a girl.
Right.
And then I get to, yo, this chick ain't playing with you. So between those two things, I was like, you know what I've been doing ain't working. I got to do something different. And so, with those saying, you put away childish things.
Yeah, put them away, pack them up.
Yeah, so I had to put away my toys, put away childish things, and there we go.
And there you go. Because I thought when we were talking, I was like, I never asked him that. Like, how did you just be like, you know what? This is it. This is what we're doing. Because, like you said, I think everything washed away but the flirtation part of it. And I think then finally that washed away. For me, I just knew that for me, because I'm aggressive.
Right.
Anybody who knows me know I'm aggressive. I like to tell people what to do. Same thing
bossy.
that I'm bossy.
Yeah.
But the same thing with you that you say about me was the fact if I tell a guy to jump, he'd be like, how high and in what direction. So when I got to you weren't jumping at any point. But the part about it was the respect that you had for me. The opening the door for me, which people might think that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Making sure what side of the street that you walked on when we were together, making sure that you opened the door, making sure even when I would come into the house, I was like, babe, it's cold. It's like he would go in the house first, check everything, and be like, it's okay. Especially if it was me and the baby and my daughter. Even with the boys, he would be like, I'm going to work at night, so guys, y'all lock that door. When y'all make sure y'all check the locks. Those things I had never experienced before in any relationship that I had. And I think that I knew that I loved you. But as time went on, I knew that I made the right choice. I knew that I made the correct decision. I knew that this was a God thing because I had prayed for a very, very long time. Lord, give me a husband. First of all, I said the next person who would touch me sexually would have to be my husband. I'm just being very transparent. If it ain't my husband, we're not doing it. The second thing, that he would have to love my children as if we did it together, not apart. And I said, God, give me someone who, even if we broke up, which was not an option, but he would be like, well, I'm taking my kids with me.
Yeah, because if we ever separate, I was taking the kids.
I mean, he's told me that for so long. Even when we were younger, he was like, oh, my kids are going with me. I'm like, excuse me. He's like, no, you're not listening. All 4 of my children are going with me, so don't even try it. So I had prayed about that. But the funny part about it, I always tell people it's a laughing matter. But in the instructions of me giving God that information, I was like, God, but I could have sworn I told you I wanted him to be dark-skinned, bald-headed, or dreads. I mean, he light-skinned. It's a pretty boy. And I really want to stay away from light-skinned guys. Don't judge me, people.
Curly fro. Curly red fro at the time.
Right, all of this. And he had red hair. I was like, what? Where did you, down the line, did you pay attention to that? But so I think like you, and the crazy part about it for both of us is even saying this to each other, we never took offense. We didn't like, oh, so you didn't know I was the one. We're not gonna sit here in front like we knew, because guys, I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, because to be honest,
just didn't know.
Yeah,
I was taking a chance.
Yeah, it was because remember, when you and I know we've never had this particular conversation on the podcast, but you and I've had this conversation. Like I said, I know I was not. You were looking for dark skin, basically Jamaican is what you were looking for.
Pecs, all kind of crazy
that's what you were looking for. What I was looking for was either Asian or
Puerto Rican. Yes, he was.
Yeah, I was. A black woman was not my next. Was not my next up the bat. It was not.
He was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna try.
And I love black women. I adore them.
Adore them, but he was like,
nah. My next conquest was either going to be of Asian descent, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, somewhere around there.
Because his thought process, because we're best friends and we talked about it, was to conquer all countries.
Yeah, I was going to be United Nations. That was my goal, to be the United Nations, to be all things
about
to all
now,
people.
Even thinking about us being in the car having these long conversations till 2:00 in the morning, you would tell me this. I'm like,
that was my goal, because at that point in my life, at that point in my career, I had already did Caucasian, I had already did Italian, I had already did Black, of course.
Yes.
I needed. I was missing Hawaiian. I was missing some Asian in there. It was some nations I was missing.
Bruh.
It was some Asians.
You just had to catch up. You had to catch up.
It was some nations I was missing.
He just wanted to be equal opportunity out here, y'all. That's it.
And so to go to, Angela B. Davis out here, pro-black with the fist in the air. That's not what I was looking for in my life at that point in time.
I'm so mad at you right now.
I'm just saying it.
I was very much Black Power.
Yeah, you got to remember at that time you were very much.
Still is.
You still are. But you were like a militant Christian, which was crazy because you were like a Black Panther activist, but toting your Bible. It was crazy out here. It was like crazy. Like you always say, you was a thug for Jesus. You're still a thug for Jesus.
I'm a thug for Jesus. I remember he tried to talk. I was like, I'm sorry. Take your sunglasses off when you talk to me. Who are you talking to?
I was high.
So he didn't want to take his glasses off.
I didn't. I was high. We were
at work.
I had already passed the drug test. So, and I knew another one coming. There was a training class, so I knew they wasn't going to test me
He
anymore.
was in there now.
I was in there. They made a mistake. They let me in the door.
They let him in the door.
So So I came to work at that point. At that point, I believe that the earth had the cure for it all. And I was
so above your time, because now look what's happening in the world.
Saying,
He's above your time.
And I was, I had some anxiety issues
really,
that I was working through.
Okay, and you
needed
that.
I was doing some self-medication to work through my
and it was
anxiety.
helping you, my God.
Yeah, and then you blew my high because you like take them glasses off. If you can't look me in the eyes, don't talk to me. Your little self pointing your little finger.
Don't talk to me. Why are you
like,
talking to me?
Whatever, man, whatever.
And I think that's where, and I remember I wrote a note to him about something. I was like, straighten up or do something. Just be right, bro.
Yeah, he said
just do right.
Something aggressive.
Something aggressive. And he was like, okay, you're going to keep me straight. And I just looked at him and I was like, whatever.
You're going to keep me focused.
Yeah, you're going to keep me focused. And I was like, whatever. Sit up straight, bro. Sit up straight.
And there's a couple of, to go back just a little bit, the crazy thing about, as you say, quote unquote, my flirtatious spirit, the crazy part, honestly, most of the times I didn't even know I was flirting.
Yeah.
Because it was so bred in me.
Yeah, that was in your DNA.
It was really in my DNA. It was so.
Thank you for the Lord. Thank you for Jesus breaking generational curses.
Yeah, bred it in me that I most of the times, because like for me, I don't know how to flirt. Mm-hmm. To be honest, like if I intentionally try to flirt,
look good.
It's like one of them bad romantic comedies where the dude's just stumbling over himself.
Snorted.
You did actually. You did snort. But it really would. It would be one of those bad, like Hitch. It would be like Hitch, like
Will was trying to teach.
Yeah,
what's his name?
James. Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Be like Kevin James' character when he thought he was trying.
Kevin James.
I would be Kevin James. You know, so but in my nature, when I was just being quote unquote just being me,
it was very attractive to people.
It just what came out.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know half the times. But the one thing I am happy about though is that you did, because you being you actually kept me out of trouble during that period of time.
I did.
From friendship to marriage, that block of 6 months.
I did.
Really kept me out of trouble.
He said he was choosing things. It was one person that he chose, y'all. Lord have mercy. I had to break that up. I had to break it up, y'all. I had to. No, I saw the psychotic in her because she would stare, and we was in training, and she would stare across the seats to wherever he was and just stare at him like she's supposed to be learning something, but she was learning from him, and he wasn't even looking at her.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was doing that.
And now he was attracted to her in a sexual way. He wasn't attracted to her.
I couldn't tell you anything about her personality.
You're just the worst.
I couldn't tell you about her character.
You knew nothing.
I don't even think I knew her last name.
You just knew nothing.
The only thing I knew, she had big breasts, and she had yams,
and so that was it.
That's all I knew.
I like the way you put that, baby. Thank you.
Yams.
She had yams and
look
that up if y'all don't know what he's talking about.
And I was looking for a Yamazon delivery.
What?
A Yamazon delivery.
I hate you.
I'm just saying.
Stupid.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for you, that was gonna go real wrong.
My spirit of discernment was like, if Sanchez, if you don't sit some sit your tail down,
because the spirit of the Lord.
Cain had to intervene.
It's not what was leading me.
No.
During that time,
I had to get him away. Had to break his little heart. We're not letting that happen. That's not going to happen. I had to break that down. But I just think that, I mean, there might be couples out there be like, I knew. I just don't think that's not our story.
It's not our story.
It's not our story.
No, it's not our story.
And and we grew, like I said, we loved each other. We adored each other. We were best friends. We did everything. We still do everything together.
Yeah, best friends.
Still best friends. And I just think that we still can tell each other what we feel, but we just have to do it in a different way now. To be able to communicate without being like, he get on my nerves. It's like, babe, you hurt me. This is how you made me feel.
And we still have those struggles.
Yeah.
We just
full
transparency.
Yeah, we just had that struggle.
We just had a conversation like that a couple of days ago.
No, it was yesterday.
Actually, yeah. Well, yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Day before yesterday. Day before yesterday.
Couple of days ago.
You right. Couple of days
you
ago.
Always gotta correct me.
I'm just saying, player, make sure it's right.
Anyway.
But I think we did well when we did that.
Yeah.
That conversation. We heard each other.
I listened. I did my training, Don't take offense. Don't automatically take offense to what the person is saying.
Right.
Be open. Don't automatically think it's an attack.
Right.
Because I've been known to do that whenever I hear those words, those dreaded words this is once again, I don't believe in stereotypes, but there's certain things that are universal. Whenever a woman says to her significant other,
babe, we need to talk.
We need to talk.
That's exactly what I said.
A man's heart drops 13 centimeters within his chest.
I'm just saying, I just needed to talk to you about something.
Because we already know this going to go left real quick.
It could go right.
It never goes right. It never goes right.
It
never goes right. It took a moment. It never goes right. It always goes left first. Always goes left. But I took the time to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the time to understand, okay, this is her perspective.
This is how I feel.
This is how she feels.
Exactly.
There's two things I can never do. Mm-hmm. I can never tell her she's wrong about her perspective.
Or my feelings.
And I can never tell her she's wrong about how she feels.
Right, exactly.
The only thing I can do is say what my intentions were. Mm-hmm. And then we take it from there.
Yeah.
And I think we had a really good conversation.
I think we did have a good conversation. We respect each other. I know for sure that you're the one. you know, and I think, to be honest, secretly, maybe deep down, deep down,
Right.
I knew you were the one, but it didn't rise up to the top. It didn't.
Way
it didn't,
down in the jungle deep.
Yes, it didn't rise up.
Signify lion
What in
stepped
the
on a
world?
signifying monkey's feet.
What are we doing, baby?
Dolomite. Peter Wheatstraw.
Did you see my face?
I couldn't finish that. That ain't nothing Christian about that.
But
I couldn't finish that poem.
And I'm so glad that, you know, God has blessed us this way and the way that we are. You know, like I said, we were marriage and training. On
the job training.
On the job training, and we learned. I wouldn't tell anybody else to do it this way. I think you need get some counseling, get some therapy, you know, whatever it takes to get it right, or to get it close to what you think is going to be right. But yeah, that's where we were, and that was such a great question, because I was like, did he know? I don't think I knew, and I don't. And the crazy part is we've never even challenged ourselves to say, baby, did you know I was the one? We talk about how we met. You know what happened, like we do right now, but never like, did you know?
Yeah, we just roll.
We just roll with it, and you're the one. You're the one.
You're the one I want.
Ooh,
you're the one I need.
babe.
What's your final thought, my love?
My final thought is thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for the greatest 20 years, 21 more years to come soon, and for the rest of my life. I know that you're the one. I know that you're the one,
baby.
and I know that God made you just for me. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, baby, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. My final thought is very simple. You make me better, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, babe.
So that's my final thought.
Yeah.
Family.
Guys, we love you guys. Y'all was in our therapy session again, as usual.
Family, as always, we just thank you guys so much for just
Yes.
listening. We thank you for being a part.
Thank you, guys.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Podbean,
Come on.
whether it's Spotify, whether
Yes.
it's Google Play, whether it's iHeartRadio, or whether it's on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We thank you so much for
Thank you
listening.
so much, guys.
We are an interactive podcast.
Yes,
what
we
that
are.
means is that we're on the socials. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner. And you can always email us at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, our email address is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.